Welcome to my NBA Finals preview. I am Shayo Manera, here to give you my analysis of the NBA Finals with the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors. Now, courtesy of House of Highlights, here are the highlights of the Raptors and the Warriors getting you to this point in the NBA Finals, both of their elimination games. Let's start with the Raptors. Now, as for the Raptors, they came off a 2-0 deficit against the Milwaukee Bucks to win 4 straight to advance to the NBA Finals. Now, you might see that as a flounder by the Milwaukee Bucks, but I see that as the Toronto Raptors merely figuring the Milwaukee Bucks out. Now, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks are led by Giannis. But they're not just led by Giannis. They got other players such as Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe, and even at times George Hill. What the Raptors did, they put their best defender, Kawhi Leonard, on Giannis. Once they put Kawhi Leonard on Giannis, everything started to fall into place. Giannis is not a one-person job, even for Kawhi. When Giannis drove the paint, the defense collapsed on him. When the defense collapsed on him, he passed it out to the shooters, and the shooters just did not make their buckets. Simple as that. And the Raptors just played a grinded out game. They just had too many long defenders. They had a Pascal Siakam. They had a Serge Ibaka. They had Marcus Gasol for bigger lineups. Even in the guard position, you got Kyle Lowry who could guard bigger defenders. You got Norman Powell. You got Danny Green, who was largely ineffective. But even so, you also had Fred VanVleet, who was providing the offense for you. During the first few games, he was like Fred Van Smush Parker. He was hitting no shots at all. But during the last latter games, after he had his baby, he was Fred Van Curry. He was hitting everything. There was even a stat that said in the beginning stages, the first 2 games, I believe, he was 18%. And then after that latter half, he was 82% from 3. He became a completely different player after being largely useless during the early games and against the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, Kawhi is Kawhi. Kawhi, he's extremely dominant. He's the second best player in the NBA to me. Besides Ujiri, he should win Executive of the Year for acquiring Kawhi Leonard and for firing Dwayne Casey to promote Nick Nurse as coach, who's been instilling defense on this team. And Kawhi Leonard, of course, is an upgrade of DeMar DeRozan. I said this in a summer article I wrote that if Kawhi Leonard plays like the Kawhi Leonard of the Spurs and had no setbacks from his injury, Raptors most likely could go to the finals. And the Raptors were preparing for this moment. All those low management games that they had in the regular season for Kawhi Leonard, just managing him all up for this moment to keep him fresh. And because of that, this team is just a complete team. With Kawhi sitting out for half the games of the season, I think that allowed Pascal Siakam to emerge to the player he is. Nick Nurse brought him to the starting lineup, gave him confidence, but he's just been a versatile force. You talk about a guy who is 6'9", who could just bring the ball up to the floor, runs like a deer, can guard multiple positions. He is similar to a Draymond Green in a way. Of course, Draymond Green's largely a defensive player. Pascal Siakam's more offensive, but just a guy who's like a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. A versatile piece that can be useful in many different lineups. You can play him at the 3, you can play him at the 5. That allows the Raptors a lot of flexibility. Now, switching on to Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, he's been playing very well this playoffs, and he got a lot of slack for starting the first game of the NBA playoffs with a goose egg. He's been balling throughout, because much as to make about his inconsistencies on the offensive end, Kyle Lowry is a very good defensive player, which is going to be useful against guarding a Stephen Curry. Kawhi Leonard, as you see, is just largely unguardable, but Chris Middleton, on the other hand, Chris Middleton just did not come to play. And I think this is going to be largely a problem with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks might need another shot creator. Chris Middleton is good at getting his shots from 3. And he's good for posting up smaller wings and from getting just catch and shoot opportunities. But aside from Giannis, they just need another guy who can create their own shot. That was supposed to be Eric Bledsoe, but Eric Bledsoe came up missing. Now, with the Golden State Warriors, do I feel like the flexibility of the Raptors can beat the Warriors? I actually believe so. With the Raptors, we got Marcus Sol shooting threes. Because of that, that's gonna take out Andrew Bogut. He probably will barely play the series. You expect to see a Kevon Looney, but without KD, the Warriors will be in trouble. You got Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. The Warriors do play different. They do play more exciting, but does not mean they're better. Because KD is out the lineup, Andre Iguodala has to come into the lineup, and that just gives the Warriors a lack of depth. Because who you have coming off the bench? You got Sean Livingston, you got Quinn Cook, you got the centers, Kevon Looney, Jordan Bell, or Andrew Bogut. That is just not enough help. They don't have as much depth as they had before. They become, at times, I believe, complacent on relying on KD. Although they did turn the level up after KD got hurt, I felt like they weren't going against teams that were very competitive to start with. The Portland Trailblazers have to be one of the worst Western Conference Finals teams in recent memory. And they wanted to lose. They kept putting Seth Curry on Steph Curry. Just because he's his brother does not mean he can guard him. The Houston Rockets are as predictable as they come. James Harden is just one person. The offense was very effective during the regular season, but once you go to the playoffs and you have days to scout a team, they become very predictable. And if he's not scoring, there's no chance they're going to win at all. The Raptors are a different beast. The Raptors have so many ways they can beat you. They just have so many players who can do a lot of things, multiple things, and they can produce so many different lineups. As we mentioned, Danny Green was largely ineffective against the Bucks-Raptors series. What did Nick Nurse do? He take Danny Green out and put Fred VanVleet in. And just the combination of VanVleet and Lowry scoring, just being ball handlers, allowing Kawhi to run off screens, be more as a role player, it gives the Raptors a different look. And I just feel like the Raptors have way too much depth, and that they can do the unthinkable and bring a championship to the six. Now, if KD plays, that's going to be a different story. If KD plays, that is their ultimate trump card. Of course, Kawhi will guard KD, but if he guards KD, one, he will get exhausted, and two, you can never truly stop KD. After all, he's a 7-footer that can shoot 40-foot shots, who can dribble like a point guard. He is the most unguardable player in the NBA. There's no way you can stop him, even with Kawhi. If you put Kawhi on him, that allows Klay Thompson to get open looks. That allows Steph Curry to get open looks. And the Warriors will be the dominant Warriors that we came to know and hate. Unfortunately, I think that the Warriors will win that series. So if Kevin Durant does not play at all, I got the Raptors in 6. They got too much depth, too much versatility, just so many ways they can beat you. And they also have the best player on the floor if KD is not available, Kawhi Leonard. If KD does play, I got the Warriors in 7 because the Raptors are going to give them a run for their money. Playing in Toronto is a totally different beast, but the Warriors' experience and the fact that they got Kevin Durant will allow the Warriors to pull through. Now that's it. My name is Shay A. Omanera. You can follow me at Shay A. Omanera on Instagram, Twitter, and I'll be back with you to give you more analysis of the coming games. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Like, comment, subscribe. See you later.